Hi guys, we're gonna try things a little different today, and you're gonna actually watch your lesson on the computer and fill in your note sheet along with that. So in order for this to run smoothly, everyone's gonna be working independently. At any time that you need to pause the video so that you have enough time to finish a problem, please do so. On quite a few of the problems ahead, I'll ask you to pause it so that you have the time to finish it independently, and then continue playing the video so that you can check your answers. So here we go, let's try it out. First thing on your worksheet will be your warm-up. So you've got 4 review questions using properties of exponents that we've talked about on Tuesday. So go ahead right now, pause your video, simplify 1, 2, 3, and 4, and when you're ready, hit play to continue. All right, let's check your answers. The very first one, number 1, when we have when we're using variables and they're the same base, so x is our base on this problem. X is using repeated multiplication, so we're getting x to the third, x to the fourth, and x just one time. If we add up all of our exponents, we really get x to the 8th power. On number 2, our base is 3, and we're multiplying 3 3 times and multiplying 3 again 4 times, so altogether that gives us 3 to the 7th power, and after we simplify that, you're going to get 2,187. So feel free to use the calculator on the computer as well, or you could always Google and use the calculator there as well. Okay. Number 3, if you have x to the 4th power 2 times, you have x to the 4th and x to the 4th, which gives you x to the 8th. When we're working with powers raised to powers, here we have 2 to the 2nd power. We have x to the 3rd power raised to the 2nd power, and y to the 4th power raised to the 2nd power. So we can do 2 to the 2nd power and get 4. X to the 3rd power raised to the 2nd power means we have x to the 3rd power twice. So that gives us x to the 6th power. And then last we have y to the 4th power twice, which gives us y to the 8th. How'd you do? Now let's move on to today's lesson. Make sure you write down the learning target at the top of the page on your note sheet. Go ahead and pause if you need more time. The homework from Tuesday will be collected on Monday when I am back, so we can really make sure that we have answered all your questions about properties of multiplication with exponents. So hang on to your homework until Monday, when you will turn in last homework assignment and tonight's homework assignment. So take a look. Here's what we're working on. Now we're looking at exponents written as a fraction form. So if we have 2 to the 5th power over 2 to the 2nd power, if we write that in expanded form, so in our expanded form, we're left with 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 over 2 times 2. Well, what ends up happening is when you have a numerator and a denominator that's the same, we've had that conversation many times, 2 over 2 is 1. 4 over 4 is 1. 0 over 0 is 1. So these numbers end up making just one whole. So what we're left with is 2 wholes times 2 times 2 times 2, so, or 1 times 1, so you're just left with the 2's on the top that did not make 1 using a 2 on the bottom. So you're left with 2 to the 3rd. On your worksheet, go ahead and try writing 2 to the 6th over 2 to the 5th in expanded form, and then see if you can simplify it and write the simplified expression in the form a to the n power, which means you don't have to simplify once you get your answer raised to a power. Again, pause if you need more time. Here we go. 2 to the 6th power, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 6 times. 2 to the 5th power, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it looks like a bunch of 2's over a bunch of 2's. So now we're looking for those whole numbers. 2 over 2 makes 1. 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 So now I'm left with 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 2. So I'm left with 2 to the first power, or just 2. Okay? You try using the next two examples. So on your note sheet, go ahead and write them in expanded form and write it in simplified form. Pause if you need more time. The first one, 10 to the third power over 10, it's going to look like 3 tens over 1 10. So 10 over 10, or 10 divided by 10, creates 1. You're left with 10 being multiplied by itself one more time, which gives you 10 to the second power. We could also write 1 times 10 to the second power, but that doesn't change anything, so we're just going to ignore the 1s. Okay, so we've got 10 to the second power, which is really 100, but we're going to leave it in the form a to the power of n. The second one, you should have written out a bunch of x over x's. Figure out which ones divide to make 1. And now you've got 1 times 1 times 1, which doesn't change anything, and you're left with x 3 times, or x to the third power. So all of this happening, what are you noticing? What shortcut do you think we could use when we're using quotients or division with the same bases? What do you notice from here to here? Okay, so what do you think would go in this box if we had x to the a power over x to the b power? What are we doing with our two exponents? What we're doing is subtracting. The top divided by the bottom, the top subtract the bottom is called your quotient of powers property. So go ahead and write that formula in your box on your note sheet. The definition, when you have the same base being divided, so the base is x and the base is x, they're the same. They're being divided by using that fraction bar. We are subtracting the exponents. Make sure in the box on your note sheet you're writing top minus bottom. Pause if you need more time. Now that you know the quotient of powers property, let's apply that. So go ahead and write this problem down on your note sheet. Simplify your expression, and then hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Same basis, so we subtract our exponents and we get 5 to the third power. Try the second one. Pause it and hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Same basis, so we're subtracting our exponents. 12 minus 7, x to the power of 5. Last one. Try it on your own. Check when you're ready. All right, our bases are smiley faces, and 6 take away 2 is 4, so we get smiley face to the fourth power. Ready to step it up a notch? Let's try some a little more difficult. Write this one down on your paper. We'll work through this one together. Pause if you need more time. On this one, we're looking for bases that are the same. Right away I see an m on the top of my fraction bar, and I see m on the bottom of my fraction bar, and I see two numbers, and when we're working with fractions, we know that numbers can be divided. So 20 divided by 2 gives us 10. M to the third over m, or m to the first, gives us m to the second after we subtract the exponents. And then n doesn't have anything to simplify, so it just stays n to the 7. Ooh, that's messy. Okay, so go ahead, try this second one on your own. Pause it and press play when you're ready to check your answer. On this one, we're trying to simplify, so we can actually simplify this 2 to the third power. I see an m base on the top of the fraction and an m on the bottom. So 2 to the third gets simplified to 2 times 2 times 2. M to the 10th divided by m over m to the 7th. Subtract your exponents. 8 times m to the third power. Third one, try this one on your own. Pause it, press play when you're ready. On this one, we have a common base of 4. We have a common base of a. So the 4's can actually stay as a base until we're ready to simplify. 4 to the 5th over 4 to the 3rd leaves us with just 4 to the 2nd. And then we've got a to the 3rd over a to the 2nd, which is a to the 1st or just a. Okay. Simplify 4 to the 2nd and we would get 16a. All right. Hope you're doing well. If you're having a hard time with any of them, please go back and look at them again. You have the ability to go at your pace today. So the next ones are a little bit different than what we have been doing. Go ahead and write this one down in box number 1. If we were to simplify this expression, does 18 get divided by 4 very easily? No, it's not a nice number. It's not a pretty number. But we know we could divide the top by 2, and we could also divide the bottom by 2. And when we do that, we're left with a fraction. So that is your simplified answer. Okay? We're okay having fractions in math. You're not always going to get a whole number. So when we get to problem number 2, write this one down on your paper. Pause if you need more time. We can simplify this and we might have a fraction as our answer. We notice we see 30 and 4 on the top and the bottom of your fraction. You can't divide 30 by 4, but they are both divisible by 2. So if I divide these two numbers by 2, I get 15 over 2. But now I have variables to work with also. Y to the 2nd power, or y times y, over y, leaves us with a y on the top. So we said 30 divided by 2 was 15, 4 divided by 2 was 2, and the y stays on the top next to 15. Try number 3 on your own. Pause if you need more time. Did you figure out what number can be divided out of 24 and 40? You could say 2. You could say 4. You could say 6. Nope, not 6. You could say 8. So 8 is the biggest number that you could divide out of 24 and 40. Or you could just keep dividing until you got it simplified. You should notice that your x over 4 and x over 2 would leave you with just x over 2. And your y will stay at the top all by itself. 3 times x to the 2nd power times y, and that 5 left over from your 40 is left on the bottom. So what makes those different from the ones that we've been working on? Now you may have a fraction as an answer. Here we go. Stepping it up one last time. Go ahead, pause the video, write this one down, and simplify it. Let's see how you do. All right, you should have simplified the 7, or the negative 7, and the 14, which are both divisible by 7. Your a to the 5th power and a to the 2nd power leaves you with a to the 3rd power on the top of your fraction. B to the 9th power over b to the 5th power leaves you with b to the 4th power. So you're left with negative, oh, this isn't right, negative 1, negative 7 divided by 7 is negative 1. A to the third, b to the fourth, over, we forgot, 14 divided by 7 is 2. So that could be your answer. But remember, in algebra, normally you won't see a 1 as a coefficient, as a number in front. So we'll simplify that to just negative a to the third times b to the fourth divided by 2. There's your final simplified answer. Okay? Go ahead, try the second one on your own. Pause it, hit play when you're ready to continue. Again, we have numbers that are divisible by 7. Oops, on both the top and the bottom. Okay. So generally, if I had something to write with, I would just divide my fraction first, my numbers. Then I would work on my variable a. Then I would work on variable b. And then I would work on variable c. So what you're going to notice is that you're left with 2a to the first power, or just a. B, nothing happened to b, so it stays at the top. C to the fifth became just c, or c to the first power. And then when we divided negative 21 by 7, we're left with negative 3. Remember, with a fraction, the negative can be on the bottom, the negative could be on the top, or the negative can be in front of the fraction bar. Both of these are correct answers. Last one, you can do it. Write it down, work it out. When you're ready, press play to check your answer. This one, there's no numbers to divide, so we're just working with variables. A to the third over a, or a to the first, leaves you with a to the second. B to the seventh over b to the fifth leaves you with b to the second. C to the eighth over c to the third leaves you with c to the fifth. Final answer. If you have time, go ahead and try the next question, which is a challenge. See if you can put it all together. If you are short on time and it's close to the bell ringing, you may go ahead and get this checked off and pick up your homework assignment. Challenge, let's see what you can apply based off what you know about multiplying and dividing expressions with exponents. Pause it, press play when you're ready to check your answer. The very first thing you need to do is focus on just the parentheses. Simplify your parentheses first. 5 and 10 give you 1/2. X to the sixth over x to the fourth leave you with x to the second. Y to the second over y, or y to the first, leaves you with just y. So you're left with 1/2. So there's your 2 on the bottom. There's your x squared, your y, all to the second power. So remember, generally we're not going to use that 1 in front of the x. So let's simplify that even more by getting rid of that 1. Now what happens is your exponent gets distributed to everything inside your parentheses, including the bottom number. So you're left with x to the fourth, y to the second, over 2 to the second, or 4. How did you do? Give yourself a smiley face if you rocked that problem. All right, time for homework. Your homework tonight is a practice sheet. It's due on Monday. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. I'm excited to see you on Monday and share my pictures and my adventures from my wedding. Behave, do well, and we'll see you Monday.